I've always been pretty vocal about my opinion on planes and how I don't like them, and I don't fly ever. I avoid it at all costs. There have been times where I've been forced against my will to get on a plane, and I have dreaded every single minute of it. Even thinking about getting in one of those concealed flying death tubes just raises my anxiety. So in today's video, I want to mainly go over my apprehensions towards planes and the plane industry in general. I want to approach this video in the same way you would approach catching a plane. So buying your ticket, getting on the plane experience, TSA, all that. That's what I want to do in this video, so I can give you a full understanding of why I just can't stand the plane industry. First, I want to talk about getting the ticket itself. At minimum, it's going to cost you around $300, and that's like a lowball price. It could be way more than that, especially depending on where you're flying to or flying out of, and God forbid you have to spend any money to fly out of the States. And these ticket prices aren't even counting the cost of how much you would spend just traveling in general on food, housing, and other stuff. Overall, I just don't feel like spending that kind of money to be treated like a human sardine on a plane. Now that we bought our ticket, it's time to actually get to the airport. And what would you think would be a reasonable time to get to the airport? An hour before? Absolutely not. A general rule, I feel, is you need to get to that airport at least 3 hours before your plane is even boarding, because there's so many things that can go wrong when it comes to planning to get on a plane. There are generally 3 ways to get to the airport. The first way to get to the airport is probably driving yourself. When you drive yourself, you have to leave your car at the airport if you don't have anyone else that can bring your car home, which means you have to leave your car in the airport secure parking and just hope nothing happens to your car while you're gone. Personally, I wouldn't go with this option just because I don't trust the airport to protect my car, and their security doesn't seem like it would be top priority for customers' cars. The second option, which I think is the best option, is having a family or friend drive you. You just have to not always rely on or expect them to drive you. It's a nice thing they can do for you, but just don't always expect it. Finally, this is probably the most popular option, which is just taking an Uber or a taxi. Maybe less of a taxi just because Uber has destroyed that industry, but just paying someone to drive you is probably a better option, or more popular option, I should say. But that just adds to the costs of your trip. Now that you're in, you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the many amenities that the airport provides till it's your time to board the plane. You can go to one of the random fast food places here that is way more expensive than it normally is, or you can go to one of the shops that sell snacks or beverages that are all upcharged, because why not? Or you can buy one of those random books that they sell that you have zero interest in reading and would never read at all. What I'm trying to get at is, when I get to the airport and I have to sit and wait, I just want to sit at my gate. I don't care about the food. I don't care about all the little things you can go and buy. I just want to sit and get on my plane and just get the experience over with. I want to finish this off with just talking about the plane experience itself. I don't like it. Personally, I avoid planes as much as possible. I don't like the experience. I don't like the airports. I don't like the people. I don't like the costs. I don't like being in a tube 32,000 feet in the sky. The list goes on and on. I hate sitting in a tiny tube where anything can go wrong and there's nothing I can do about it. Like, just a little bit of turbulence could be the end of it, and that's it. And don't get me wrong, I understand the statistics. I know, technically and statistically speaking, that cars are way more dangerous than planes, and more people die in car accidents than plane accidents, blah, blah, blah. It does nothing for me. I just can't get over the negatives that come along with being in a plane. And God forbid you get stuck next to someone who's like a psychopath who wants to talk off your ear the entire time. Or a baby who has just decided its main mission in life is just to cry the entire plane flight. Also, can we talk about how the planes are just falling apart now? Back in January 5th, a plane took off, and about 20 or 30 minutes into the flight, a panel just came off the plane. When I first saw this video, I was freaked out. I didn't even know this was possible. Apparently, it's a thing with the new planes. There's a whole ordeal. I'm not going to get into it because I'm not an expert. All I know is a piece of the plane fucking broke off mid-flight. I would be so pissed. I would be so pissed off if I got in a plane and I just got sucked out. I'm already an anxious person. And so the idea of being on a plane where there's just a hole in it, not my cup of tea. Overall, it's just kind of confirmed my fears in planes, and that things can and will go wrong, and that I don't have to get in one ever. I will never have to get in a plane because that shit can happen. In the end, it's good to know that the plane successfully landed and no one was hurt, but it's only confirmed that I'm not going to get on a plane anytime soon. In conclusion, I'm probably going to continue avoiding planes as much as possible. It's not like I'm going anywhere anytime soon, and when given the option for long distance traveling, I'm probably just going to take a train or drive. Mainly because I feel like we're not supposed to be in the air. We've been on the ground for almost the entirety of human history, and we're made for it. We're not made to be up in the air like that. So I'm just going to stay here grounded. Also, trains are just the superior way of mass transportation, and there's no arguing me with that. That's just true. Trains are the best. Thank you for watching. I will see you next week.